Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees, and today's video is your old wax and what to do with it. Okay, when you come to the end of the year, you're going to have some frames that are either too old, or they had wax moth damage, or they just had too many drone cells in them where they're no good for anything but storing honey and making drones. And what we do is this: we'll take an old frame like this that we no longer want that wax, and what we do is just cut right down the top with your hive tool, just like that. You can see the old the starter strip that we use right there. And next year when you start, consider making you up a bunch of frames with starter strips. You can take one sheet of foundation and make 8 or 9 cuts with it, making them an inch long. And that way you can stretch your foundation a long ways, and it's all naturally drawed. The bees decide what they need. You're not dictating what they need. So when you put foundation, you're telling the bees exactly the blueprints that they need to make in the foundation with embossing of the cells. This way, they decide what they need. If they need more drones, if they need more workers, whatever they need, they make. And they can draw it out a lot faster, honestly, than they can a full sheet. We've watched them do it, and we've put them in side by side and watched, because when they come down, I'll show here in a second, I'll get this wax off. And what we do, we'll take this wax here, and you can see where I still got my fishing line right there in the middle. And we have a bucket that we put our wax in. And we'll take this wax, and you can make different things with it. Everybody does different things, candles, lip balms, whatever you want to make with it. We do not make foundation. To me, it's a waste of time and a waste of money to buy an embossing machine. You can take a little strip of foundation and stretch that thing 8 or 9 frames. So what's that going to cost you total? By the time you buy that $1,200 machine or whatever they charge for them now, and then you collect your wax, and honestly, it takes a lot of wax to get just a few foundation. I have a friend down the road that bought one, and he says it takes an enormous amount of wax. He said you wouldn't believe, he melted and still just didn't make much. So to me, it's a waste of time and a waste of money. Now, what I do with this here, try to do this one-handed here, so you can see the foundation's still behind it, the old foundation that we installed, and I just kind of chip away with it with my fingers. And I've done this time and time again, and this works excellent, no problem whatsoever. You put that in the hive, there's your starter strip, they'll come right down with that, no problem whatsoever. It works excellent. Now the thing is, now with me, we have a lot of drawn comb anyway, the first of the year, so it's easy for us to take these, and we'll put these in between frames that are drawn out. That way you're keeping the bees true and straight, and they won't make wild comb. If you have a frame, an empty frame here, and a frame that's drawn out on this side, and a frame on this side that's drawn out, that's one way. Now another way, and a lot of people don't like these, but come springtime, when those bees will draw out anything you put in there, is these right here. Get you some of these plastic foundations, a few of these, and put these in between these starter strips, just to get you started. And then you can always pull them back out once they get these drawn out, and go with your natural drawn comb. The plastic foundation is not a big problem early in the spring. As time goes on throughout the year, they can house hive beetles, and that can be a problem. And the bees don't seem to like them later on in the year, but the first of the year, those bees will draw out just about anything. So they work good doing that. But if you do have enough drawn out wax, then of course use that. Just put that down in between two frames. They'll draw it out, no problem. And that will save you a lot of money right there. So think you buy you one sheet of foundation and build 8 or 9 frames with it, easy. 1 inch. So it's easy to do. We just take these old frames. We have them piled up. I got a bunch to do, but we're doing splits again tomorrow. So I'm getting a lot of my hives ready to do these splits, and we need frames. And what we'll do, I did a video on how we did the splits. We did the 1 frame of honey, 2 frames of strong brood with lots of bees on them. They wasn't just 2 frames of brood, they was 2 frames with lots of bees on them. And that right there is enough. Even where right there on top where it broke off a little bit, that little bit of wax right there on the top is enough to get those bees to start drawing down on that. And we just stack them as we go. See, this one right here is one that they started drawing out, then stopped. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll put it back in the hive next year. This right here, see how big the cells are? That's drone comb. It's no good. It's good for storing honey, but when we'll be using it in the springtime, you want worker cells, not drone cells. So we'll tear that out, and there you go. And you can, like I said, you can thin this down a little bit. It's hard to do one-handed here, and you can see the whole foundation right there behind it right there. So it's simple as that. That'll save you some money right there. Pass that on to any new beekeeper you know, because you don't have to put a whole sheet of foundation. The thing about the whole sheet of foundation, it always seems to be wavy, and when it's wavy, they'll draw out one side more than they do the other, and it just doesn't work that well. But if you use this, they'll draw that thing down perfect, and it'll look good. And they put just the right space that they need on the bottom and on the sides, and it works so much better. So that's today's video, and I just want to put it out there for the new beekeepers. Save you money, try to. And please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook, Barnyard Bees Incorporated. And thanks for watching Barnyard Bees.